What's up, everybody? My name is Andrew, and welcome to the Music Spiel, where I rant about music for possibly a bit too long. Today, we're going back to Artist Profile because I can't narrow down a list to one album to review right now. It happens. But today, that means I get to talk about Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino. I was first introduced to Childish Gambino at Lollapalooza 2012 when he was supporting Camp, and I instantly became obsessed. Camp became a part of my rotation almost immediately, and as I've mentioned before, it was part of my constant arguments in high school because most people around me said Macklemore was a better rapper, and I fought tooth and nail for Gambino. I was listening to Camp almost all the time, but I didn't actually listen to the mixtapes until this past summer. I was originally going to give my full Gambino spiel, but I have an essay on it that I hope to get published soon, so I'll leave that story for that essay. For this episode, I'm just going to go release by release and give my honest opinions on them. I haven't been able to find Sick Boi anywhere, so I'm starting off with Poindexter, which is not really good at all. In fact, it's a total mess. I appreciate the sample of Legally Blonde the musical on So Much Better, but other than that, it's really skippable. Knowing where Gambino has gone since, you can kinda see the promise he showed, but this is easily his worst work. Then comes I Am Just a Rapper, which is only a slight improvement. The highlight is Bitch Look at Me Now, where he's rapping over Grizzly Bear's 2 weeks, but it's still pretty bad. He shows more promise, but it's still not great. I Am Just a Rapper 2 is on par with the first one, so there's not much else to add there. However, Cul-de-sac is where he really starts to show consistent promise. It's still not great on the whole, but it's way better than the first 3 mixtapes I mentioned, and I'm assuming also better than Sick Boi, but again, I haven't heard that yet, so I can't definitively say. But tracks like Difference, Got This Money, So Fly, Do You Like, and Fuck It All show that he was really coming into his own. So Fly is gorgeous, even if the lyrics are simplistic, and Do You Like, which is the track referenced in Freaks and Geeks with the Adele sample, is total braggadocio, but it's actually good braggadocio. Then came the EP, 5 tracks showcasing where he was going with Camp, and I gotta say, they lay the groundwork pretty damn well. Be Alone is a pretty solid track. Freaks and Geeks is still one of my favorite Gambino tracks of all time. My Shine has slowly been climbing up the list because as annoying and grating as that guitar is at first, it grows on me as the rest of the beat comes in. Lights Turned On is really the most forgettable of these 5 songs, but it's still pretty damn decent. And Not Going Back ties back to themes and production styles he introduced on Cul-de-sac in a really solid way. There's still a ton of cringe lyrics, but that's what I mean when I say he set the groundwork for Camp. Some really insightful lines sandwiched in between cringe lyrics and pop culture references over sometimes grating but mostly pretty cool production. When I look at the Camp era, I'm reminded just how young Donald and Ludwig were when they were doing this, and I'm just impressed that they continuously improved on every project. Which brings us to Camp itself. Overall, it's mostly a nostalgic album for me, but I really like most of it. Again, some cringe lyrics, but some pretty funny punchlines and memorable hooks. Certain songs have aged better than others, but I will never not get hyped up when Bonfire comes on, and I will always feel that high school emotion I thought was love when I hear Heartbeat. When I spent a semester in New York, I almost got hit by a car while listening to Backpackers as I walked to a Nets Raptors game. These songs all have vivid memories and emotions attached to them for me, so I will always enjoy Camp even if there are cringe lines. Gambino followed up Camp with the mixtape Royalty, which is super bloated, but the highs of it are really high. We Ain't Them is a great opener, One Up is a good hype track, Unnecessary is another good hype track, Shoulda Known has some bad lyrics, but the melody of the chorus is awesome, Toxic is a solid reworking of the Britney Spears classic with Danny Brown, Won't Stop has a great feature from Danielle Haim. Beck's production on Bronchitis is super dope. Wonderful is a really nice hope-filled song. And Make It Go Right has a pretty dope feature from Kilo Quiche. The other tracks, while featuring some amazing names, Nipsey Hussle, Bun B, RZA and Hypnotic Brass Ensemble, Ghostface Killah, they're mostly forgettable and they bloat the mixtape. And the last track has a super cringe feature from Tina Fey, which is cool because she gave Donald his writing job on 30 Rock, but it's terrible and I don't ever want to listen to it again. After Royalty was what can easily be called Childish Gambino's most unique work because the internet. I'm going to save my thoughts here for a full album review, but here I just want to say, wow, what a fucking album. What an era. Fans say this is when Donald was at his most Gambino, having the character perfected, and I gotta say, I agree. Following up BTI was a double mixtape / EP, Stone Mountain Kauai. The Stone Mountain side has some pretty good tracks like No Small Talk, Move That Dope, Necktail Chirp, Let Your Hair Blow, his cover of You Don't Have to Call, and Candler Road, but the Kauai side has one of Gambino's best songs in Sober. It has Pop Thieves and The Palisades. It shows that Gambino could take a more pop direction and succeed. That being said, he didn't take a pop direction with his next release. Awaken My Love is very much not a hip-hop release, and other than Redbone, it could be classified as
mysterious shit.
But my God, Gambino took his influences from the 70s funk, soul, R&B, and rock scenes and synthesized them into something amazing and unique, although Redbone does sound a bit too much like a Bootsy Collins song. Me and Your Mama is one of my favorite album openers of all time. Have Some Love gets me super hype. That one part of Boogeyman in the second chorus when Donald splices in his voice saying yes in a way that only he can is amazing, as well as the rest of the song. Zombies is a good take on being surrounded by people who don't actually want the best for you. Riot is a great song to inspire an actual riot. Redbone is really cool, though it's not my favorite on the album. California is kind of annoying, but I still love it. Terrified is gorgeous, as is Baby Boy. The Night Me and Your Mama Met makes more sense with the lyrics he included at Pharos, but the instrumental is still cool, and Stand Tall is a gorgeous album closer. I'm not particularly a fan of the way it cuts off at the end, but that doesn't detract from my enjoyment of the song. Overall, just a truly amazing, near-perfect album. Definitely his best, though BTI comes close on some days. How did Donald follow up the success of Awaken My Love? Only by putting out one of the most critically acclaimed songs and music videos of the past decade. This Is America, while admittedly not my favorite thing he's ever done, is spectacular. It's grown on me in the past few years, though. There's been endless analyses of the song and music video, so I'm not going to add anything other than this. They should have kept the gunshot in the production of the song, not just the music video. I'm pretty sure Todd in the Shadows said the same thing, and if he did, I agree with him. It would make the beat switch just as hard-hitting and shocking as it is when the music video is watched. Summer Pack is just a nice 2 pop songs. Feels Like Summer has yet another dope music video, and Summertime Magic is just a good pop love song. There's not much to say here. Not my favorites of his, but still very good. And then he put out 3:15:20. After performing Algorithm and using 3928 as an intro to the track Human Sacrifice on his This Is America tour, I was wondering what direction the supposedly final album would take. I was not really disappointed. While 3:15:20 is not the best thing he's ever done as a whole album, some of the songs are easily the best he's put out. 1238, 1910, and 5349 spring to mind. To be super cliche, 1238 is just a great track to vibe to. 1910 is a catchy song that analyzes being black in a world that doesn't really treat black people as equal, and when the guitar comes in towards the last chorus, amazing. And 5349 is one of the best album closers I've ever heard, and if it's the last track we get from Childish Gambino, I'll be okay with that. I think this album was overhated, as repeat listens reward the listener with more intricacies to pick out, but I understand people being off-put by some of the songs, production, and album rollout. It's his 3rd best full album, which is not what you want to go out on when you've released 4 albums, but it's still a very good final statement, especially with 5349 as the last track. I hope it's not. I hope there's more, because overall, Childish Gambino is easily one of my favorite artists, and I probably have more to say on all of these, but I don't want to ramble for too long. I won't forget to expound on Because the Internet in a future episode, because it deserves a full episode and track-by-track analysis, but this is where I'm going to end this one. If you have any comments, feel free to let me hear them. What's your favorite Gambino release? Have you listened to any of the mixtapes? Let me know. Thanks for checking out the Music Spiel. Next episode coming soon. Hope to see you there.